Hello, everybody, and welcome to History Bite number 350, dated June 23rd, 2022. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This History Bite is entitled, What is Juneteenth? Before I begin, however, I'd like to formally invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Juarez Lee Shelton, M.A. And in addition to that, please also click on the little notification bell immediately to the right of the subscribe button. In doing so, you will receive notifications when I post new, exciting, and enlightening videos in history, law, political science, theology, and philosophy. Thank you so much in advance for subscribing. You are the best. So again, this History Bite is entitled, What is Juneteenth? For those who are unaware, those who may have just heard of Juneteenth or have an idea of what it is but not crystal clear, this video may serve to help you just a bit. Juneteenth is an African American holiday which honors the end of slavery in the United States. It commemorates the end of America's original sin, slavery. It is also known by many as Emancipation Day, Jubilee Day, Freedom Day, Black Independence Day, and Juneteenth Independence Day, depending on whom you ask. Celebrated annually on the 19th of June, hence the origin of the portmanteau Juneteenth, it honors the day specifically in 1865. June 19, 1865, in which African Americans who were enslaved in the state of Texas received notice, of their freedom via President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. This was, of course, some 2.5 full years after the proclamation went into effect on January the 1st of 1863. So, paying attention to context, Texas was the westernmost state of the Confederacy, the most remote, and the one which typically received news last, if at all, as a matter of fact. Additionally, many slave owners in that state simply refused to tell their bondsmen and women of the development, even though they had known about the Emancipation Proclamation well before June 19th of 1865. So how did it all happen, you may ask? Well, on June the 19th, 1865, Major General George Granger of the United States Army issued a general order in Galveston, Texas, allegedly, though not affirmatively, from a hotel balcony. In reality, the order would likely have simply been posted about the town where blacks tended to gather in large numbers. The proclamation from a hotel balcony is likely just historical exaggeration, make it seem a lot grander than what actually occurred. The order stated as follows. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. End quote. Interestingly enough, but not surprisingly, the last two sentences are essentially telling blacks that while you are free, it is best to remain where you are and just work for wages. So, thus the enslaved people of Texas were the last in the former Confederacy to receive notice of their freedom via the Emancipation Proclamation. This is why the holiday of Juneteenth is viewed as the unofficial end of slavery in the United States, because all the other slaves in the Confederacy had theoretically received notice and knowledge of their freedom via the Emancipation Proclamation, as well as being obviously freed by the incoming Union armies. So, Juneteenth itself was first celebrated by blacks living in Texas as early as 1866. And as knowledge of the event has spread, it is now celebrated by African Americans throughout the United States. Okay? In 1980, Texas became the very first state in the Union to officialize Juneteenth as a paid state holiday. As of 2021, all 50 states and the District of Columbia have either made Juneteenth an official holiday or at the very least an official day of observance. Okay? 18 states have declared it to be an official paid state holiday, for the record. 18 states. Lastly, on the 17th of June, 2021, President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Act into law, establishing Juneteenth as a federal holiday. For African Americans, Juneteenth is usually celebrated, if you celebrate it at all, with cookouts, festivities, parades, fireworks. Traditional African American foods tend to dominate these festivities, as you would expect, as well as other observances such as storytelling, reenactments, and the reading of the Emancipation Proclamation, all events that tie into the significance of Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen. So that brings me to my own commentary on Juneteenth. While Juneteenth is celebrated as the time in which slavery came to an end in the U.S., that is factually incorrect. Chattel slavery in the United States remained a legal institution unless otherwise prohibited by local law until the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution on December the 6th, 1865. That amendment, which came into effect nearly 6 months after the June 19th proclamation of that year, reads, "Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime in which the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction." I do not say this to be a stickler of sorts, all right, but rather to simply add the factual information for which chattel slavery ceased to be a legal institution anywhere in America, all right? So in conclusion, while Juneteenth is a holiday that certainly can and should be celebrated by all Americans alike, it is a uniquely African-American holiday which represents the freedom of a people and the end of the perpetuation of America's original sin, slavery, okay? Additionally, it is a day in which black people in this great nation can celebrate how far we have come as a race in America since 1865. But to also remember just how far we still have to go. We haven't gotten it yet, folks. There's still a long road ahead of us. So I thank you so much for listening to this History Bite on Juneteenth and what it is, okay? So if you have any questions or controversies, you can leave them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. If you like this video, learned something from it, which I certainly hope you did, drop me a like. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel at this point, please do so now. Juarez Lee Shelton, M.A. Again, thank you folks so much for listening. You are the absolute best. Stay tuned to my videos. Keep looking at my channel. All of you are most appreciated. I thank you so much for watching today. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you at the next video. Peace and God bless.